All right, so my favorite comfort sneaker of 2020 just got a little bit better. And here we have a video review of the New Balance 1080 V11, which is the upgraded version from the V10, or as the box says, the M1080B11. I don't really know why the box doesn't say what the name is. Anyways, here is the shoe, and let's go ahead and jump into this video. What is going on, guys? Hess here, collectivekicks.com. Hopefully you guys are having a good day out there. If you guys want to buy a pair of these New Balance 1080 V11s, go ahead and check the link in the description. And I'll also try to find some places to buy the 1080 V10s because now that the new model's out, usually the last year's version goes down in price a bit. This is a shoe that really I didn't see on sale hardly at all last year. The 1080 V10 was my very first try of the 1080 line, and I gotta tell you, I was like super shocked. If you didn't see my video review of these, it was one of my favorite shoes last year. My favorite comfort shoe that just came out of the blue. It's such an insanely squishy pair of sneakers on your feet. The shape of it is really good. Like, all in all, this is just a really fantastic shoe. So the 1080 V10 happened, but now we have the V11, and it looks like just a little bit of small adjustments have happened from the V10 to the V11. Fundamentally, it looks like pretty much the same shoe, but I'll get into some of the comparison elements in this video as well. I'm happy to report that the midsole of the V10 and the V11 are pretty much the same. There's a little bit of textural difference, but the overall shape in the outsole is pretty much spot on from the last year's and the new year model, which is always good when you're trying to buy the late model because sometimes that late model is a better overall value than the new model. However, the $150 that this one is worth it, and the $150 or whatever you can get these ones for, I would say would be worth it as well. I would say that both pairs of sneakers, at least for myself, fit true to size. I also went with a wide version of the shoe, which is awesome. They come in an extra wide and a wide version, and then just a regular size as well. But the wide actually helps me quite a bit because I have a wider forefoot. I do like the fact that they do offer wide versions, so that is a huge plus because it does make it fit that much better. Now, a couple words from New Balance on these sneakers. Our Fresh Foam 1080 V11 provides luxurious comfort for the long run. This soft plush shoe features responsive underfoot fresh foam partnered perfectly with a soft selective stretch knit upper, offering a 360-degree comfort for high mileage, including ultra heel technology that hugs the back of the foot for a snug, supportive fit. This men's running shoe fully wraps the foot in pure comfort. Really simple and to the point, but this shoe is magnificent. Is that a word that I've used on this channel once? I don't think so. If you're looking for a pair of sneakers that have that soft, squishy, comfortable, like cloud-like feel, this is the real deal at $150. Now, you guys already know from this channel, I'm already an Adidas Boost fan as well as a Nike React and Zoom X fan, and the Invincible is a pair that I definitely want to give a try out because I think this will be a shoe that will go head-to-head with the Invincible because of the soft, squishy nature of the shoe. The new Ultra Boost 21 is not as soft and squishy as this shoe, so keep that in mind. If you want a softer, squishier ride, this is definitely softer and squishier than the Ultra Boost. For those people that don't like the crazy soft squishiness, the Ultra Boost 21 is actually probably a better choice for you guys. But for me, I appreciate both types of technologies, and this is one, if you want the softest and squishiest, again, this is great on feet. Now, one of the things I like about it is it's almost like a rocker-like motion and feel to the shoe. You can see it kind of curves up on the back a little bit, and the front curves up quite a bit as well. And so when you step on the heel, it's very squishy, but as you transition, it rolls off the toe. When you roll off the toe, this forefoot cushioning is so thick that you can actually feel the squishiness of that as well. So it's definitely very squishy, and you kind of like have that little spring back a little bit. Now, I never did do a follow-up video on this shoe right here. I probably should have because it is just one of those shoes I was just super passionate about. I just ended up wearing it a lot, and then I never made it around to the review, and this shoe is super dirty. 3 months after wearing this shoe, it was really good. I beat this shoe up. I wore it so much that the name on the insole is actually removed from the shoe. That's a good indicator that it goes on my feet, and I like it. But this was a go-to for me for quite a while because it was so incredibly soft and squishy, and I just felt like wearing them on a pretty regular basis. I don't think that this shoe is going to be any different. One of the other things that I like about it is the fact that you can put it on. There's no break-in time. It's just soft and squishy and good as soon as you put it on. The mesh is a little bit different than the previous version, and in my opinion, it might be a little bit more breathable across the toe box section. It definitely looks like it's more breathable right here. It has a detached tongue at the top and attached at the bottom, or as I always say on this channel, an attached detached tongue. So it has that mock tongue effect, but I like the fact that it has that instead of the sock-like liner. Sometimes I definitely do prefer that. And considering the shoe is so soft and squishy, it's definitely a perfect mix for this one right here. Also, this little heel counter right here with a little scoop back. It's like a neoprene type material. They did the same thing on the previous version. The design's a little bit different here as well as on the mesh. Both of the design elements are a little bit different, but it's fundamentally the same thing. And it's good. I mean, they didn't change. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And it's definitely not broke. I actually like the way the heel cup like hugs my foot. And also, I don't feel unstable in these shoes. For some reason, I wear them really loose even, but they're so soft and squishy that I thought if I rock left and right on the heel, it would feel like I would roll an ankle. But it never felt like I'm going to topple over and like snap an ankle or something like that when I'm wearing them. If you guys have a difference in opinion and you don't think that they have very much support, then leave a comment, let me know. But I mean, the heel cup is pretty flimsy, but at the end of the day, it does its work. And all in all, it feels good on feet. Now, the midsole is pretty much the same as I mentioned, but they do change a couple things up. One change is this weird painted thing across the side. I don't know why they did this. It looks just like a weathered streak of crap on the side. I don't know. It makes it look worn more, but they did that maybe for an aesthetic value. It doesn't really work for me. But one thing that they did do, which is probably a little bit more pleasing to the eye to some of you guys out there that get triggered, all those little micro holes that were all in the midsole of the shoe on the V10. Sometimes if you look really close, it just makes people like, ugh. That doesn't have that on this one. It looks very similar, but they're not holes. They're just little hex shapes, and it's just more textured versus the actual holes on the V10. So it doesn't feel any different on feet, but the fact that they removed all those holes will probably trigger less people. However, these mini hex things might trigger people still the same. I will say that if you look at them both side to side, the V10s, it does have a little bit more of a trigger, at least for myself, than the hexes right here. Ultimately, though, they could probably just fill those out. I don't see why they just waste all their time making all those little dots there. It just doesn't seem like it's worth it. The outsole of the shoe is actually pretty good too. There's rubber where you need it. There's exposed foam where it is not high traction as well. And it didn't really run down a ton on the previous version. I thought it would actually wear down a lot more, especially as much as I wore them. But it actually held up pretty good. If you guys, again, have a difference in opinion, because maybe you guys have worn yours down to the bone more, and it actually does rip up, I'd say it's probably more durable than like Nike Zoom X. Zoom X is really, really soft and squishy, but it definitely gets dirtier and creases like a lot more than this stuff does. I can't say enough good things about this shoe. Like, it's just one of those shoes that once you try on the V10, I knew the V10 was going to be heaven. And then once I saw that it was minimal changes from the previous version, it was a green light. I knew this was going to be sticking around for me. And this is going to be a pair that I'm going to be wearing quite a bit. But I'll probably rotate these with the Ultra Boost 21s just because I like the Ultra Boost 21s with the firmness and the overall ground feel is super good for me. But if you want something a little bit for more of a recovery feel on feet, like this is really, really good. But for those people that actually are runners out there, what do you guys think from a running perspective? Is this a shoe that you can go the distance in or not? Drop a comment and let other people know, since this isn't a running channel, obviously. But highly recommended, $150. Again, I'll link both of them out here. All in all, though, New Balance, very, very impressed with what you're doing here. I would love to be able to see like a collaboration on this model where you can change the upper up a little bit, because that's my only complaint, is it's just not aesthetically pleasing to me. I love the overall look of the Ultra Boost 21, much, much better than this shoe, much, much better than the previous, the V10. I don't like the look of it. There's something about that print on the side of the shoe I just don't like. It does not attractive to me at all. And so I wish they would fix that. But all in all, like, man, again, this is just a fantastic shoe. Hopefully this has been informative to you guys. If you guys are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. I definitely cover a lot of comfortable sneakers on this channel through the year. If you guys have suggestions for comfortable sneakers that you guys would like to see me try out, drop a comment. And if you guys see a comment that you like, thumbs it up so I can see it, and then I will buy those shoes and give them a go and see how I would like them. But thank you again for stopping by. Have a good rest of the day.